Hey everybody! You just caught me while I was finishing up a letter to my parents. They're avid watchers of these Christmas messages, my loyal viewers, as you could say. And I wanted to send them a little thank you note. Today, it is really easy to send letters, and it doesn't cost that much either. Back when the Bible was being written, it took a lot of effort, and it was actually really expensive to write and then send letters. And that was the case for all of the letters that are in the Bible today. Now, I know you might be thinking, you didn't know that there were letters in the Bible, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So, after the Gospels, which is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which are all ancient biographies of Jesus' life, and then after the book of Acts, which is a volume 2 of the Gospel of Luke, there are 21 letters written by various authors, not unlike the letter that I'm writing to my parents. But instead of Paul or Jacob writing to their parents, the authors, almost always Paul, are writing to church communities. And because not many people were able to read back then, they were also written to be speeches. They were written to be proclaimed to the people. So Paul would often give the letter along with instructions on how to perform it. And it's important to know that these were meant to be speeches proclaimed to a sea of people, because now we might be able to imagine that we are within that sea. The letters were written to church communities in all different circumstances, and many of them are very easy to relate to situations that we have today. For example, let's take Paul and his letter to the Philippians. Not long after Jesus' death and resurrection, Paul was put into prison for proclaiming that Christ is the number one true king. And Paul had gone to Philippi before and had made a really good impression, but it was still very illegal and very strictly enforced when anyone would praise Christ as king before the Roman king. So Paul is writing these letters from within prison, which is not unlike the feeling that we get today during this pandemic and staying inside, and then the biting cold outside keeping us indoors. Plus, he is writing to the Philippians, who are in a time when they are fearful to go out and share their gifts from Christ. Just like today, it is so difficult to share love and for our neighbor and our stranger, person to person. And it's even hard to share prayers of rejoice or celebration, because doing it 6 feet apart is still too distant. So next time that you're reading these letters, or maybe you're hearing scripture from these letters, I hope that this helps you with some context about where they're coming from, and maybe next time that you're hearing them, you can hear it as if you are within the sea of people that they are being proclaimed to, and the author is writing to you. Well, that's all for this week. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.